What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 28, and we start today's episode off with Gail Padermo coming to us and asking us to clarify his role at the club. And of course, he was never going to get any game time anyway. He's our free agent goalkeeper we picked up. He was always going to be a backup keeper, and yeah, we basically just said go away. Beavers also came to us and said, can you give us a new contract for like the 15th time? And we of course said no, because we have no money. And Bolivia want us to manage our nation, and I'm pretty sure Bolivia have already inquired for us in this series, and we said no. So it was the same result. We're not going to manage them. We've been, struggling to get international management offers for a while now. We used to get like one every couple of weeks, but now we're barely getting any, which is kind of annoying. Maybe all these rejections are coming back to haunt me. No one wants me anymore. But yeah, we're not going to manage Bolivia. I'm still waiting for a top nation. It is going to take a while. I do know that, but I really want to manage a top nation, and hopefully we can get one in the future. Hopefully not too long, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, the first game of today's episode was against Fulham here. So taking on Fulham, and it's never an easy game against Fulham. But again, it's a game which is pretty crucial, to be honest. We're yet to lose at the Den and in the Premier League, and we're doing quite well to maintain this unbeaten home record. And taking on Fulham, it is never going to be an easy task, but I still believe that we can get 3 points in this game. It really does hold us in good stead for the future, because it is, a side which aren't going to be sort of challenging for the top 4 or nothing. They're going to be a side which are bottom half really that we want to get ahead of. But the first real chance was saved by Nyland after a deflected shot. But Fulham did have a penalty in the 32nd minute. It was really frustrating as well. I think it was Fabricio, or possibly Ellen Nilsson. I think it might have been Fabricio that brought him down. Yes, it was. There was no intent. He only had eyes for the ball, and he just seemed to fall into Fabricio and then fall over. So the referee gave a penalty. A great chance for Fulham to take the lead here at the Den with 33 minutes on the clock. It was the Costa Rican Brian Ruiz who stepped up here. Nyland has faced 2 penalties. He saved one and conceded one. Could he save this one? It's Ruiz against Nyland. Such a shame. Nyland dives the right way, but sadly Ruiz just about squeezes it in. It was a real shame. Nothing Nyland could do really. I dived the right way, but sadly it just snuck in just inside of the post. It was a real shame. I thought I'd done enough as I dived the right way, but as you can see here, it was just perfect placement, inch perfect. Nyland spreads his body, but sadly he's never going to keep that one out. And Brian Ruiz makes it 1-0 from the spot, so Fulham take the lead, and that is not good news for us. But on the stroke of half-time, you see Seb Larsson intercept Kieran Richardson. Lovely display of strength from our midfielder there. Larsson goes through down the right-hand side, crosses the ball in. Ojo is all alone, and what a save by Stecklenburg. Absolutely incredible stop there, and it's still 0-0, Fulham 1. But in the 64th minute, Scott Maloney is onto the ball down the left-hand side here. Gives it to Brian Carrasco. Carrasco takes a touch, comes infield from his left midfield position, keeps on going, and ends up running all the way through and smashing the ball past Stecklenburg. And that was such an odd goal. He's a left winger, and of course I do want him to cut into the right, but not from that far out. He just cut in and just ran basically through all the defenders and ended up putting the ball into the back of the net. It wasn't like a display of agility or anything. He just basically ran in a straight line and curled it a little bit and curved it, and then just smashed it past Stecklenburg. It was a wonderful finish, and it was a wonderful display of pace and balance, but even so, I'm surprised how easy it was, to be honest. I thought Scott Parker, especially, who just came off the bench, didn't really do very good at marking him tightly there and stopping him from cutting inside. But Carrasco scores his 3rd goal in the Premier League, so what a start to the season this guy's having. I said we need a big season from him. He scores the equalising goal, and the only goal he did manage to score. So it did finish Millwall 1, Fulham 1. So that's not a bad result. We are still unbeaten at home in the Premier League. That's really, really good. This good home form is really going to help us if we want to stay up. And yeah, it was a very important point for us, to be honest. I didn't really want to lose that game, and yeah, it was a very, very good point and a great goal by Carrasco, really. But the following game was away at Spurs at White Hart Lane. So we came into this game, and we did have to make a couple of changes, sadly, because this game was being played in midweek, just a couple of days after the Fulham game, and sadly our team isn't that great in terms of good players in depth, and of course we would have to make some changes, including Alan Dunn getting his first start at the Premier League, playing right back for us, and he's really poor. He's like 62 overall. So in general, we came to this game fearing the worst, to be honest. But sitting in 15th, 12 games in, 2 wins, 6 draws, and 4 losses isn't actually as bad as I first feared. But of course, taking on Spurs, it's always going to be really difficult, and Tim Sherwood's side. But of course, I think that in the game it's still known as AVB. I'm not sure. But anyway, the first Spurs chance did come in the 3rd minute here. Jack Robinson does really well to keep the ball on, but ends up giving the ball straight away. It comes to Paulinho, who slides the ball in, and Zayuba gets the goal there. So 3 minutes in, Spurs were already in front, and I was thinking, oh god, this is going to be a really, really long evening for us. So Spurs 1-0 up here, just 3 minutes in. It was my fault giving the ball away, Robinson, but even so, 1-0. And in the 70th minute here, a great chance for Spurs. The shot comes in, Nyland makes a great save, and Frimpong ends up just hoofing the ball. This is what I'm talking about, man. Like, in the Premier League, in the Championship, I was always playing the ball out from the back. Now, I got to start, just hoofing it, basically, because we can't afford to give the ball away. But in the 32nd minute, Spurs are on the ball again. It's Chaddy down the right-hand side. He crosses the ball in. Zayuba wins the header. What a great header it was. And sadly, he finds the bottom corner. So, 32 minutes, Spurs 2, Millwall 0. Disastrous for us here at White Hart Lane. And it was going to be a long evening for us as things stood. But in the 39th minute, Jack Robinson's onto the ball. Plays a great ball over the top to Jean-Marie here. Marie goes through 1-on-1. Can he finish? It's saved by Lloris, but it comes to James Henry, and Henry puts the ball into the back of the net. So, James Henry gets the goal. It was a great save by Lloris, but Henry's there on hand to put it into the back of the net. Make it Spurs 2, Millwall 1, to a chance to get ourselves back into the game here. And on the hour mark here, you see Nyland give the ball to Josh Wright. Wright feeds it out wide to Jack Robinson. We do play out from the back in this instance. The ball comes to Carrasco. He gives the ball away, but Jean-Marie makes a great interception on Kumalo, who was having an awful game for Spurs here. Wonderful piece of agility by Jean-Marie to keep on going. Takes a shot, well saved by Lloris. Spurs clear the ball, but only as far as Frimpong. It comes to Josh Wright. Wright then goes down the right-hand side, finds James Henry, who got the first goal for us. Henry takes on Asu Okoto, fresh from his loan spell at QPR. Beats him with a lovely piece of skill. What a cross as well. Jean-Marie wins the header and puts the ball into the back of the net. Spurs 2, Millwall 2, and from 2-0 down, we were level here at White Hart Lane. Things were looking really bleak for us with half an hour on the clock, but we had now come back from 2-0 down to level at 2-2. Fantastic display of determination, never giving up. Really good header by Jean-Marie. And again, I think it was Kumalo in the centre. Spurs' centre-back was having an absolute shocker in this game. He was marking terribly, and he must have like some really bad stats, because he was playing terribly in this game. And it was 2-2 there. Jean-Marie brings up his 5th goal in the Premier League so far. What a signing he's been. And it's 2-2 here. But in the 33rd minute, a great chance for Spurs to get themselves back in front. It's Christian Eriksen that's onto the ball here. The former Ajax man gives the ball to Zayuba, who's on a hat-trick here. He takes aim, but he puts the ball just wide. So we really wanted to take home that match ball with him. And in the 81st minute, Asu Okoto's onto the ball, finds Chaddy down the left-hand side. Chaddy gets past his man, crosses the ball in, and sadly Zayuba does indeed get to take home the match ball, because he makes it Spurs 3, Millwall 2, and what a shame, because out of all of our hard work, we managed to come back from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. We sadly conceded, and it was Spurs 3, Millwall 2. So all of our hard work was undone there. But in the 86th minute, Kim Ojo, the substitutes onto the ball. He beats his man, chips the ball down the left-hand side to Junior Stanislas. Another substitute. Stanislas takes the touch, crosses the ball in, and Ojo, what a header by Kim Ojo. Unbelievable header. Absolutely fantastic. He brings it up his 2nd goal in a Millwall shirt, and oh my goodness, what an incredible header, what an incredible game. Spurs 3, Millwall 3 with just 4 minutes on the clock. Twice we were behind, and twice we came back from a losing position to get ourselves back on level terms. And what a absolutely incredible header that is by Kim Ojo. That is immense. That is absolutely incredible. That's exactly why I signed him. He beats 2 Spurs players in the air. I think one of them is Vertonghen as well. And it goes into the top corner. Lloris is rooted to the spot. That was an absolutely extraordinary header. Great cross by Stanislas as well, should be said. And what a goal by Kim Ojo. It's his 2nd goal in a Millwall shirt, so fantastic news for us that he gets another goal for us. It's Spurs 3, Millwall 3, but in the 90th minute, how about this? Zayuba, the hat-trick scorer, gets onto the ball, the header comes in, and what on earth is Nyland doing there? Thankfully Fabricio, I think it was, or Robinson was on hand to clear the ball away, but almost an absolute howler, gifted Spurs a late winner. But no, it did finish Spurs 3, Millwall 3, an incredible game, one of the best of the series so far, no doubt about it. Kim Ojo comes off the bench and rescues us a point with an absolutely extraordinary header. So Zayuba, despite scoring a hat-trick against us, he can take home the match ball, but he can't take home the 3 points for his side. So a brilliant result there, a great point away from home, and I was just delighted with Kim Ojo's introduction off the bench there. So a great point, and a great show of just never giving up by the team. That kind of determination and desire to get a point when everything seems lost. Twice we fell behind to come back and level it. That's amazing. So a fantastic result, really, really happy with it. And I was very, very pleased. Venezuela then come into us and say, will you manage our nation? And we say no. And G. Marie says, can you play us in the upcoming match? Because I'm playing quite well and scoring a lot of goals. And the next game is indeed going to be against West Ham at the Den. So finally we'll be taking on our rivals West Ham in this series. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like. And I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.